welcome to another JP's Chalk Talk session. Glad to have you with us. Thank you for those that are returning to the channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber today. I want to be so grateful to have you as part of the channel, and get notified when you ring the bell when we post a video. As well, if you find this video from today's session helpful, just go and hit the big thumbs up, the like button, and that lets us know that you found it interesting, as well as share and comment. So today we've got a special conversation. I think I'm just going to say everything is special because I like the word special. So I've got Judy from Kiloview, and we've talked about SRT, we've talked about the technologies, and so I'm excited to have Judy with me from all the way from out of Asia. And so I'm very excited for that because that's a first for me on this show. But we're talking about some of their products. Now, if you see this right here, it's the Kiloview encoder. And awesome product. I'm actually testing this right now. I'll have a video coming up, but we're going to talk to Judy for a few minutes, learn about her, learn about Kiloview, and talk about some of their solutions in the media and technology space. So let's bring Judy in right now. Hey, Judy. Welcome.
Hi, JP. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you, and I'm super excited. So I know it's early morning your time. Well, it's today nighttime my time, morning your time. So yeah, I always enjoy doing this. So thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure. One, I want to give Judy a big round of thanks, and to JB&A. They kind of helped supply some demo units for me to be able to test with, to do some an unboxing video that I'm talking about coming up, as well as another project. So I'm very appreciative of Judy's support. And in particular, Judy, I know there's a lot of things we want to cover, but why don't we just start off and let you quickly introduce yourself, and then maybe learn a little bit about the company.
Yeah. First of all, thank you, JP, for your time and for your invitation to have me here. I'm Judy, the Vice General Manager of Kiloview. I actually take care of our marketing, our sales channel management, and of course, customer service. So talking about Kiloview, I guess quite a lot of customers has used Kiloview products, but maybe not everyone knows who Kiloview is. So let me just talk a little bit about Kiloview. Kiloview actually is a company established in 2011. We are a solution provider for IP-based video transmission. So what Kiloview actually provides are the solutions that are related to IP workflow. So as a real manufacturer, we actually design and manufacture a series of hardware products like the H.264, H.265 encoders, decoders, and also NDI encoders and decoders, and different SDI or HDMI converters, the media gateways, and of course a lot of software solutions like our IMS, the integrated management systems, the MultiViewer, the NDI MultiViewer that was recently released, and also is free. So we got quite a lot of fans, and the NDI routers, a lot of those kind of software solutions as well. Actually, we say Kiloview is providing professional solutions with versatile choices. So we cover different interfaces from SDI to HDMI, from 3G SDI to 12G SDI, and also for different resolutions. That means from HD to 4K, for different applications, from mobile application like the 4G bonding to those rack mount units. And also we support a lot of the protocols, probably the most protocol that we can support in the industry. We support the RTMP, RTSP, HLS, UDP, all those common protocols, as well as SRT, and also like NDI or NDI-HX. As we are talking about SRT, Kiloview is actually an SRT Alliance member, and we also joined the Blackfest, for those compatibility tests. So, just for conclusion, Kiloview actually provides the professional products as well as most cost-effective solutions. That is, you just spend relatively low costs, but you can have the professional solutions, and also you can choose everything you need from Kiloview.
So Judy's kind of really covered quite a few things that I discovered in the unboxing and setting up one with the H264, the E2 encoder. And the discovery was, wow, there is quite a bit of, interoperability between different protocols, multiple stream outputs, right? And then as well as, the D300 decoder, right? And taking that and being able to receive an SRT stream. And actually for everybody that's watching this video, Judy and I got introduced through a good mutual acquaintance through the SRT Alliance, which is Suso. And I've had him on my program a couple of times. So I was very, one, honored that he would introduce us, and two, for Judy's time and opportunity to really kind of talk about their solutions. Judy, I think, in 2020, it was kind of this, a lot of things kind of transpired, obviously, because of the current global conditions that we're in with the pandemic and different situations that are going on. But more importantly, we saw such a dramatic growth in the media online streaming space. At a broadcaster level, solo streamers, people who previously weren't probably streaming before, were getting into it, or people who had to transition. You kind of talked about some of the technologies. I think one of the things that I find most interesting is your implementation for SRT, in particular on the broadcast, is fairly straightforward, not too complicated. You guys have kind of done a significant amount of work in that effort to embed that technology, but you kind of mentioned one item, and that was the MultiView, right? The media gateway, being able to take multiple streams from SRT into your media gateway product.
Yes. In the past year, we all know everything was greatly changed because of the pandemic. And also, if we are talking about production, or we say the video transmission, last year, we received a lot of customers asking us to help them solving the problems of transmitting video from one place to another because of the social distance or lockdown or whatever.
Right.
So just concerning about the production of video transmission, remote transmission is always one of the most often heard voice in the industry. So when we talk about remote transmission, we will always recommend the solution like SRT because it can do those transmission over public internets. And of course, there are also some other requests for local production. Maybe it's also for those kind of IP-based transmission, but probably they just need for local networks. So we would suggest NDI.
As we talk about, kind of the changes, we've talked about SRT, NDI obviously has become another hot kind of commodity item in a way in terms of not only of the technology, but the utilization of where we're going into 2021. As we kind of think more strategically of what we need to do in a hybrid model between what we do physically in a production versus what we do virtually within a, from a technology-based perspective, are there areas that you guys are seeing from your perspective with customers and others where there's a commonality other than the transport of, are you making recommendations on best practices in terms of how to use the products and setup and how to walk through ways to optimize with SRT and other technologies? Is that something that you guys are looking at?
Yes. Yes. When we talk about customers, about their needs, they always have those kind of requests like remote production, and of course it should be reliable, it should be low latency, and even
Yeah.
low cost.
Right, exactly. Low cost. That's a big one.
Yeah. Because of the pandemic, a lot of things was changed. So even customers like the BBC News, like Fox Sports, like a lot of those big names, they are just trying to look for cost-effective solutions. So
Right.
when we talk about those kind of things, we will always check what's your video source and where you are located. And probably when we talk about remote production, generally the video source is at one place, and the production or the receiving side will be in other place. So we need to help them to transmit the video source over the internet. Then we would recommend SRT. And of course, if just for local production, then we would recommend NDI, because it can help them enjoy those cable-free solution with low latency and also high image quality. But the real situation is when we talk about video sources, there will be a lot of different possibilities, different protocols, different size, and even some of them doesn't, has never heard about IP solution. So for those kind of situation, they need to change. They need to get it to the IP workflow. So IP workflow is a must, and remote production is a must, while social distance is also a must. So we will need to fix all those kind of things to help them with those flexible solution and easy to use, of course, reliable but professional, while not expensive. That's what
Right.
Kiloview is trying to doing. So as you can see, we have a series of products that can give customers a lot of options. Just like, as you mentioned, the E-series of products, you can easily handle those SDI or HDMI inputs, and you can convert it to RTMP for live streaming to YouTube or Facebook. You can just convert it to SRT for remote transmission over the internet. And at the time, you can encode it to NDI-HX just for your local production. So if you already have an SDI or HDMI camera, it will be easy for you to build those IP-based workflow, and also for different targets, different possibilities, and also it just costs you hundreds of dollars. Or if you already have those kind of IP cameras, but you already have the RTSP or RTMP, but you don't have SRT or NDI, and you can just have our media gateway like the MG300, which can easily convert RTSP or RTMP over to SRT to NDI. Or if you have the NDI-HX cameras, as you mentioned, those PTZ cameras, you can easily convert to SRT just using those media gateways. So even you can have, if you want to have full NDI at the same time, you want to have NDI-HX, you can choose our U40, those new NDI converters.
Right.
So, with Kiloview solutions, you can have a lot of the possibilities. It can easily help you adapt your real situation and also convert it to whatever you want. So, and yeah, of course, when we talk about remote production, sometimes we need to give the video source fees to those production platforms. Like, as you mentioned, Easy Life or like VMix. After the production, you can just check the video. You can receive the video from those platforms or the softwares, and you can be decoded for display or for monitoring or whatever, just using Kiloview decoders like the D300 with an SDI or HDMI outputs. So yeah, we can say we're helping a lot of customers to make things easy and possible, and also give them a lot of flexibility. So as I talked, we talked about those TV stations, and also we are teaming up with camera manufacturers like JVC. They can just use our SRT encoders and decoders to form those kind of package solution to realize remote production. So that's what we're doing. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I think that, and yeah, I just saw a demo of the JVC product with the SRT and some of the things they were doing. But that's fantastic. I think that, and I had mentioned this to Judy, that I was going to do some testing with EasyLive.io using SRT, and we just did an initial test this week, just a few days ago, which would have been March, I think 8th or something like that, and it was flawless. It just worked. As soon as we set up the stream, what was most impressive to me was how quickly we got it online. We got it up into the EasyLive, cloud production environment just via an SRT. Quality looked great, and we did a test of kind of going back and forth in terms of, I think another topic that came up was the real-time interaction, like doing an interview like we're doing today, separate from other protocols like WebRTC and some of the things that are out there. But what was interesting to me was Michael and I from EasyLive were doing a test, and we were both impressed by the fact that we were conversing back and forth through my camera, through a Sony camera. They had a microphone, shotgun microphone on that one, and he was on a different connection, and it was seamless. There wasn't any delay. So I think this is kind of the advantage of the technology that you're bringing up, Judy, and that we've talked about today, is the ability to have ultra low latency, right? And support these remote productions, but also the real-time interaction type workflows where you have an interview or you have some things that require a quicker response time in terms of the delay, limiting the delay between the connections from an IP workflow. So I've been very, very impressed with working on that. So that's been fantastic. So kudos to you guys. Judy, I want to thank you so much for your time today. You've been so helpful. The information you've provided has been extremely helpful. I'm really looking forward to the next iterations of the products and the solutions you got at Kiloview that you guys are developing, and the opportunity that you're bringing to not only SRT but NDI and these other functionalities. So I'm super excited for you and everything. I appreciate your support, and I just want to say thank you again for your time today. And so we'll put some description in the description. I'm going to put some links for everybody to go to the Kiloview website. Judy, what would be the best way for people to learn more about the products? Just go to the website. What would be your recommendation?
Yeah. First of all, thank you again, JP, for your invitation. And if you want to check more about Kiloview products, yes, you can visit our website at www.kiloview.com, or you can follow our social media like our LinkedIn page or our Facebook. So you can get the latest product information, also the technology.
Fantastic. And I'll put some links in the video when everybody sees this. You're going to see some links to their Facebook page, to LinkedIn. We'll make sure and get some follow-up for Judy and the team. And folks, I'm going to ask everybody, if you watch this video, I'm going to put this out. This is my 2021 ask of everybody that watches these videos is one, we want to be appreciative of the time and investment of what Judy and others provide in these interviews and discussions I have, but also share your comments, your feedback. If you're dealing with a production workflow or remote production process, you're not familiar with SRT, or maybe you're working on it, maybe there's a need, would you share your comments and questions for us? And if you have a question for Judy, we can always kind of get it back to her, and she can address that from her side, or have somebody from her team address it. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely do that for you, Judy, and that's my ask of everybody. So again, Judy, it's been my pleasure. Everybody, thank you for joining with us today, and we will talk to you in the next session. And oh, by the way, stay safe, stay well, and we'll talk to you soon.